Hi everyone! Thank you for opening up our newsletter and viewing this video. My name is Chelsea Laliberte and I am the Executive Director of Live4Lali, and I want to welcome you to our February 2014 edition of our newsletter. We're going to be talking a little bit about medical marijuana, we're going to talk about the Good Samaritan Law, and then I'm going to close out with talking about naloxone, because we get so many people asking about these three specific topics. So first things first, I want to talk about medical marijuana. We get asked a ton of questions here at Live4Lali, but none more frequently than this bill. People are curious, very curious, as they should be. And it's a really big deal in the state of Illinois. It's a big deal for our families, especially those with teenagers, for law enforcement, and for our culture. And first, I would like to make something very, very clear. This legislation is different from the cannabis legislation in Washington and Colorado for a few different reasons. I mean, many people see it as a cornerstone to our future, but I kind of encourage everyone to look at this like a test that everyone is taking. As we know, individuals suffering from very specific illnesses will be allowed to obtain medical cannabis. How do I feel about this? Well, I think that anyone who speaks to me about drugs know that I am mostly concerned with who this is going to get into the hands of. My sister Haley, who is adorable, as we all know, is 17. So I am concerned, about her access to pot, and I am also concerned about the parent viewpoint. I hear so many parents saying, well, it's just pot, and they have a 14-year-old kid. And I'm interested, as a parent, what are your concerns? What do you feel uneducated about? And how can we help you understand so that you can properly educate your child or your neighbors about cannabis? And if cannabis, isn't necessarily a concern to you, what about pills? I mean, I know I get a lot of questions about pills, and right now it's the most popular drug among 12 to 13-year-olds, according to drugfree.org. So if you have any questions about this, the bill or pills, please don't hesitate to reach out. It is pointless to have a law and not understand it. And if I don't know the answer for you, I will find an answer for you, because it's my job. And I like these challenges. I like to know all this stuff, so I can share it with all of you. Another law that I want to talk about is the 911 Good Samaritan Law. This law was created to save lives from overdose. And currently what is happening, sadly, is that people are overdosing and being too scared to call 911. They're in fear that, they're going to get charged with possession or drug paraphernalia or even drug-induced homicide. So out of fear, they are leaving their friends and loved ones to die. And it's an epidemic. And this is happening everywhere. So in the summer of 2012, the 911 Good Samaritan Law was passed with the intention of providing limited immunity for those who call 911 in the event of an overdose. So for example, let's say you and I are using together and you overdose and I call 911. You and I are protected under this law. Other people who may be there with you will not be protected. But this law also includes very specific weight limits, mainly involving personal use amounts, and those can be found at stopoverdoseil.org. And also, this law does not include marijuana currently, and for minors, alcohol is not included because Illinois is a zero-tolerance state. Some college campuses have their own Good Samaritan laws, so if you are a college student and are interested in finding out if your school has a Good Sam law, you can check into that at the Students for Sensible Drug Policy website, which is ssdp.org. For anyone else interested in finding out specifics about the Good Samaritan Law, please go to stopoverdoseil.org for very detailed information from my friends at Roosevelt University's Illinois Consortium on Drug Policy. So what should you do in the event of an overdose? This brings up a good point. How should that be handled? Well, I don't know if you all know about this, but Live4Lali and our friends at Kiva Recovery in Vernon Hills host monthly overdose prevention and naloxone trainings at the Kiva facility, and we do this the first Tuesday of every month from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., and we actually have one tomorrow, and it is 100% free to learn, and you also receive a free kit. This is a naloxone kit. And for all of those of you who do not know what naloxone is and may have heard it but not understand what it means, naloxone is the generic version of Narcan, which is the opiate overdose reversal serum. And this has been around since the 70s, but most people in the medical profession know it as Narcan. With injection of 1 cc of naloxone, you can revive someone who is overdosing on opiates in a matter of 2 to 5 minutes. And, you know, I get asked all the time, doesn't this make addicts feel like it's okay to keep using because naloxone will save them? Well, my answer for that is no, not necessarily. Unless you understand addiction, you don't, that might not be an obvious answer to you. But more importantly, an addict cannot recover if they're dead, ever. So saving a life is really also what this is about. So please come on out and learn and receive some free medicine and information, and maybe, just maybe, you can save a life. And you can learn more about naloxone at stopoverdoseil.org, just like you can learn about the Good Samaritan Law. And please pass this information along to anyone who you think can use it, addicts, their families and loved ones, and even people who you wouldn't necessarily think need it. For example, people who have been prescribed pain medication like Oxycontin or Demerol or Vicodin or hydrocodone for pain issues. This is not just for heroin users. This is for all opiates. So to register for our trainings, you can go to naloxonelakecounty.eventbrite.com. That's NALOXONE, lakecounty.eventbrite.com. And lastly, we have a volunteer and supporter mixer on this Thursday, February 6th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. in Palatine. So if you're interested in getting involved but don't know exactly what to do, please come and find out, because we have a lot going on this year. We have a lot of amazing programs and plans in the works that we're excited to share with all of you. And, you know, just generally, there's strength in numbers. This issue obviously is affecting people from all walks of life. No one is immune to addiction. I mean, yesterday we just saw Philip Seymour Hoffman, died from what they suspect to be a heroin overdose. And it seems like it's not really until these celebrities die that this becomes important somehow. So I'm here to say that it is important. I know you guys all know it's important. But joining together, banding together, and really focusing on this mission will help push our cause and our case even further. So I know that there's a flyer out there, and that can be found in the e-newsletter, and includes the address and registration site for the volunteer meeting. And the registration site is volunteer.eventbrite.com. So if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at info@live4lali.org. Also, don't forget to like our Facebook page, because the more people who know about us and can use our information, the more people we can help. So that said, I want to encourage everybody to stay warm, drive safe, and keep on living for Lali. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you all soon.